What is going on, movie lovers? Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. I'm Jacob Bartley, and this is my review for A Ghost Story, the movie starring Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, from the director of Pete's Dragon. Now, this movie has been getting a lot of buzz. Not all good buzz. It premiered at some festivals and got some mixed reactions when it first premiered, because some people either thought it was a masterpiece or some people thought it was too complex and too crazy and just, not direct enough to be comprehensible in some ways. And I kind of came out of this movie very split. Like, I felt both of those ways. Like, on one end, it's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. And it's crazy. And I love the ideas and what they went for. But at the same time, it wasn't direct. It didn't. And I don't need all of my plot points and themes served on a plate for me, but I would like it to be somewhat understandable. So after I got out of this movie, I had to go online, watch some videos, read some stuff about the director, and find out what this movie really meant. And in my opinion, somebody should be able to watch a film and understand it for the very, very first time. But with all that put aside, I've had some time to think about the movie, do some research, and I think it is an amazing film. Now, I don't think it's going to be one of my favorite movies of the year, but it arguably is one of the best movies of the year. Now, it's such a weird film that, like, you have these two amazing performers in it, right? But I don't think their skill set is necessarily highlighted, because a majority of the film is spent seeing the ghost's perspective, and you know that mostly is Casey Affleck under that sheet. So you mostly have this ghost figure, and you don't really understand what's going on, or you don't really spend too much time with the actual characters that aren't ghosts. And it was crazy to me. Like, there's so many different elements in this movie, like fantastical elements and just real world elements combined, that make it such a little treat. Like, I'm so glad I watched it. I am going to talk about it for a long time and, like, tell people they should see it and interpret it for the way that they think. And at the same time, it just had me thinking for days afterwards. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it, talking about it, researching about it, asking other people if they've seen it and stuff like that, because it's just such a weird and unique film, and that's a good thing. Like, it goes places thematically that I've never seen a movie go, and it touches on things that, like, we talk about and wonder about, but I've never seen portrayed fully in film. I've seen little elements here and there in different movies, but it was just something that really blew my mind. Not in the sense like Logan blew my mind, right? Just because it's an amazing film. Like, it's one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen. It blew my mind that way. A Ghost Story blew my mind just because of how abstract and how weird it was, but at the same time being something so unique and actually really, really good if you understand it. And there's this, I don't know what to call it, like this speech or this monologue in this movie from a certain character, in the middle, more towards the end of the film. And that dialogue is incredible. It does feel a little bit on the nose, like, it doesn't seem like someone would actually speak like that in a conversation. It feels like it was written and prepared, but at the same time, it's such a powerful, amount of dialogue that I think it's just something very, very special and something very, very important, and something that, like, makes you think a lot. And that's what this movie really does. It makes you think about the meaning of life and, what you do in your life, what you leave behind, and how to pretty much cherish every moment you have. And I really loved what that was going for. I loved the fantastical elements, like dealing with the ghosts and how the ghosts, deal with other ghosts and interact with each other. And there's hints towards, like after you die, you have the option to go to the afterlife or stick around on Earth. And that's how maybe why some ghosts haunt people and some don't. Some just go to the afterlife, some stick around because they're obsessed with something. Like, it deals with all of these complex ideas, and I thoroughly enjoyed the film. It's so hard to rate this movie because I don't know, like, the good things that I like are because of the ideas, not necessarily the execution. The execution is really, really good, but the ideas are better than the execution. And sometimes I say that with movies that are bad, but in this case, like, the execution is like an 8, and the ideas are like a 10. So I don't know where to rate this film, but I'm going to go ahead and give A Ghost Story a nice 8 out of 10. I think it's very, very good, but it's going to be a little bit confusing on your first viewing, and there's are a few scenes that are very quiet and very long. You got to be patient in this movie, but I think if you go in with a little bit of patience and understanding how complex it gets, that you'll end up really, really enjoying this film. Alright, well that's going to do it for my thoughts on A Ghost Story. Again, I am Jacob Bartley for Apocalypse Movies. You can find me on this YouTube channel or on Twitter at @JacobBartley_, and also subscribe to Apocalypse Movies if you like everything film, and hit that like button. It won't hurt, right? And also leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of A Ghost Story or what you thought of my review. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care.